About 2,500 years ago, a brilliant individual was born, whom some consider an incarnation of God and some also call the savior of humanity. This great person was Gautama Buddha, known as the Enlightenment One. As we all know, Siddhartha Gautama, the son of a king, spent the first 29 years of his life in the splendor and luxury of a palace. One day, when Siddhartha Gautama was traveling through his kingdom in a chariot, he saw a deceased person, which profoundly impacted him. This event led him to renounce his royal life and embark on a quest for truth. Friends, it's often said that he spent 6 years in rigorous meditation and ascetic practices, but even after all the hardships, he didn't find the answers he sought. The turning point came when Siddhartha sat beneath a tree and made a vow not to leave until he found the truth. After 48 days of meditation under the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha Gautama achieved enlightenment on a full moon evening. The specific meditation technique that led to his enlightenment is called Vipassana Meditation, a powerful and very old ancient practice. After being enlightened, Siddhartha Gautama taught this meditation technique to his disciples with the aim of spreading it worldwide, so that more and more people can learn about this meditation and find relief from their suffering. Now, why is Vipassana meditation so different from other forms of meditation, and what makes it so powerful? Well, you see, our minds are filled with a plethora of memories, both good and bad, emotions, deep-rooted habits, and hidden impulses that subconsciously control our behavior, in fact, our entire lives. And we often remain unaware of this influence. For example, let's say we place an excessive amount of trust in someone, and when that person betrays our trust, it causes us immense pain. Our suffering knows no end, to the extent that some people even reach the point of depression. But it is said that that time heals all wounds. That's why, in a matter of months or even years, we often feel better. But our subconscious mind stores all these incidents deep within, and it ingrains the idea that trust equates to pain, suffering, and even depression into our belief system. Then, for the rest of our lives, our subconscious mind prevents us from trusting anyone until that person completely changes his entire belief system. I gave you this small example to illustrate how many good and bad beliefs our subconscious mind is filled with. Our subconscious mind is so deeply ingrained with these beliefs that in 1937, Leopold Sondy invented a human personality test to understand an individual's deepest behaviors. This test later became quite famous as the Sondy test. But why am I telling you all this? Well, the reason is that Vipassana meditation has numerous benefits, and one of them is that it allows you to discover your deepest self. Vipassana meditation is so powerful, and to what extent it can bring about changes in a person's life, you already know. Do you know what Vipassana means? Vipassana is a combination of two words, Vi and Passana. Vi means to see, and Passana means in a special way, then Vipassana means to see in a special way. Vipassana meditation is divided into 4 parts, namely Kayanupassan, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassan and Dharmanupassan. Kayanupassan Vipassana meditation is the beginning of focusing on observing your breath. Unlike other meditation techniques that involve making your breath longer and deeper to calm your mind more quickly, Vipassana meditation requires you to simply pay attention to your breath. Whether your breath is short, long, or deep, you are not supposed to alter it. You are meant to observe your breath as it is. There are 2 main reasons for doing this. First, you have a new thought every 9 seconds. Therefore, you are instructed to deepen your concentration and concentrate on your breath to break the 9-second thought cycle. This will enable you to practice real Vipassana meditation more successfully. Secondly, you will experience sensations in the vicinity of your nose after a few days of practicing breath awareness meditation. Consequently, to sharpen your awareness of all of your body's senses. For this, it's advised to pay attention to your breathing. Another thing to do is that whenever you see something, remove its identity from it. Since childhood, our minds have been programmed to label things, such as, this is a dog, this is a cat, this is a plant, this is a cow, and so on. Take 2 minutes to remove this labeling from your mind and look at things as it is without these judgments. By observing things in this manner, your mind will start trying to understand if it's not a dog, then what is it? By observing things this way, your curiosity and powers of observation will greatly increase, and you will start to look at everything with a lot of curiosity and attention. We are often told to be curious, like children. No one tells you how to become as curious as children. The reason children are so curious is that their minds are not programmed like ours. That's why their minds naturally try to understand everything around them, and they don't limit themselves to just observing. You need to do more than just observe, you need to observe everything. For example, when two people are talking to each other, or when you are talking to someone, you shouldn't judge the conversation immediately based on your preconceived beliefs, for example, thinking that you are right and they are wrong. Instead, you should simply observe what is being said. This is something you should practice while sitting, standing, waking, sleeping, all the time. In essence, you should observe, from bodily sensations to everything else, just observe, and nothing more without adding any further interpretation or mental commentary. If you develop a sight to see like this, firstly, your curiosity will increase significantly. Secondly, your mind will begin to move towards a thoughtless state because at any given time, you can either observe something or think about it, but you can't do both simultaneously. The third thing that will happen is that your observation skills will improve to the point where you start to see the truth in everything, whether it's your emotions, conversations, or anything else in the world. This is the true essence of Vipassana, to see things as they truly are, not as your pre-programmed mind and emotions dictate. Now, it's not as if you'll understand the entire universe within 10 days. According to Gautam Buddha, it takes about 7 years to truly master Vipassana. I've been following this practice for the past 10 days, and the changes I've experienced include looking at everything with curiosity and gratitude, as I'm observing the beautiful world around me. The experience of seeing things this way has made me feel like I know nothing about this vast universe. It's easy to look at a stone on the road and say, this is just a stone. However, if you remove its preconceived identity, and just observe it, you'll spend hours looking at it, yet you won't truly understand what it is. I've been observing this experience for hours, and it's difficult to fully explain it in words because words have their limitations. You have to experience it for yourself, and I can guarantee that it's truly an incredible experience. Second is Vedananupassana, which means feeling, and Passana, which means observing, is all about observing feelings in various ways. Our mind and we are closely connected with feelings, and our mind wants to react to every type of feeling. For example, if we feel angry, we react to that feeling with anger. If we experience a pleasant feeling, we want to prolong it. Conversely, when we experience feelings of pain or discomfort, our mind seeks to quickly escape from those feelings. This means that our mind wants to react to every thought that arises in response to our emotions. Due to this, we become slaves to our emotions. So, this is why during Vipassana meditation courses at Vipassana meditation centers, a person is required to meditate for 11 hours a day. Just imagine, when you feel uncomfortable sitting in one place for 20 minutes, how painful it must be to meditate for 11 hours. However, the trick of Vipassana meditation is that you're not supposed to react to the pain you experience during those 11 hours. You simply observe where the pain is arising. When you observe that pain for a while, it disappears. Then, you might start feeling pain in another part of your body, and when you observe that, it also disappears. In this way, you learn to apply the same principle to all your feelings, whether they are feelings of anger, sorrow, pain, or even pleasant feelings. When you master this meditation, you will be able to differentiate yourself from your feelings. You will understand that feelings and emotions are temporary states. You won't let any thought or emotion disturb you, you will attain inner equanimity. You'll realize that you are not your thoughts and emotions. How we attach to our feelings and emotions is explained beautifully by the author Mark Manson in a topic he calls the feedback loop from hell. Let's suppose you get angry over something trivial, then you realize that it's such a small matter, and you wonder how you could get angry about it. The more you realize that you're getting upset about insignificant things, the more upset you get at yourself, not for the real incident that happened to you, but for the fact that you're the kind of person who gets angry over trivial things. In other words, you'll start getting angry at your anger rather than the real incident that happened to you. Creating what the author calls the feedback loop from hell. According to Vipassana, as soon as you feel anger and instead of reacting to it, you simply observe it, you can break free from this feedback loop from hell. Gradually, you'll gain more control over yourself. The third is Chidanupassana, which means observing the mind. Vipassana allows you to see your innermost self through different perspectives. At the beginning of this video, I explained that through meditation, you can get to know your deepest self. Chidanupassana enables you to discover your hidden, deepest self. Chidanupassana is about contemplating the mind. In our minds, we have approximately 7,200 thoughts each day, and around 80 to 90% of these thoughts are wasteful. These useless thoughts function in our brains much like the mud in a river or pond. It's challenging to see the bottom of the river or pond with all the dirt, but once the mud settles, we can see the bottom clearly. Similarly, because our minds are constantly filled with unproductive thoughts, we can't truly get to know our deepest selves. Vipassana helps in silencing these useless thoughts. Now, with Chidanupassana meditation, you just need to observe your thoughts without reacting to them. These thoughts can be either very negative or extremely positive, but you should not react to them. After practicing for a while, you'll understand the types of thoughts that come to your mind. You'll gain clarity about which thoughts are wasteful and which ones are important. As your observation deepens, you will begin to understand the habit patterns of your mind, the impulses, and cravings. You'll observe all these thoughts, and gradually, these thoughts will start to diminish in your mind. You will come to realize that even, I am not my thoughts. When your observation becomes very deep, you will reach a state of emptiness. After reaching this state, miracles will begin to happen in your life. The fourth aspect is Dharmanupassana, which means to observe and contemplate Dharma. This involves closely examining and observing the true nature of Dharma and following the teachings or principles given by Buddha. According to Buddhism, to attain enlightenment, one must follow various rules and regulations, including the 7 main stages: mindfulness, investigation of the nature of reality, energy, joy of rapture, relaxation, concentration, and equanimity. In contrast, in traditional Hinduism, there are 8 stages, including yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, and samadhi. These different stages and various yogic practices, such as bhakti yoga and karma yoga, can lead an individual to realize the absolute truth. Each religion has its own set of rules and regulations. This discussion reminds me of an incident involving Swami Vivekananda. When someone asked him, "Swamiji, what is religion?" he replied, "Religion is the realization." He meant that no matter which religion you follow, have you realized its true essence? Have you experienced it for yourself? The day you realize this, all religions will appear similar to you. So, that's all for this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and share it. Thank you so much for watching.